Record podcasts at destinations because why the fuck not? This is what I do. This is actually my last day here, and I'm fitting this in before I leave with mimosas. That's the drink of the hour. And actually, this is a Bellini. It's pretty good too. And I am videoing this. Ooh, so check it out on YouTube. I'm not that sure about the sound, you guys. Actually, this is a Bellini. It's pretty good too. And I am videoing this. Ooh, so check it out on YouTube. I'm not that sure about the sound, you guys. So when you watch a YouTube video, you're gonna see me play it back to see what it sounds like. But I just realized something with my new microphone, and not only am I outside by the water, by the pool, by a poolside bar, the microphone just ain't microphoning like it should. You know, story of picture me living life, obviously, podcast life. But we get it done over here. We get it the fuck done. So I want this to be a quick one because I actually want to do some shit before I leave today. How many people out there, when checkout time is at noon, you at the front desk at 12:15? That's me. I mean, I literally, like, I'm finna get my money worth. I'm not about to be standing in line to check out at 11:45. I'm not cleaning up my room because I don't want the housekeeper to think that I'm nasty. I don't give a fuck what she think. Shit. You supposed to leave the room nasty, as a matter of fact. You do realize you're not renting the room for a full 24 hours. You're renting the room for however long they let you rent that goddamn room. It'd be like 18 hours. Barely. Because you can't check in till like 4 o'clock at some places, and check out be like at 11. That, the math ain't math then. I always get a late checkout. 9 times out of 10 these days, the late checkout is free. All you have to do is ask. And sometimes I'll ask for an early check-in. That is a hit or miss, I'm not even gonna lie. And sometimes they will charge you for an early check-in. But hotels do offer, and the price is astronomical too. But it doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they could say is no. But they do have options in hotels to leave your bags. So they'll store your bag safely, and you can go live your life. You know, if you get to the city that you're going to at like noon, check-in isn't until 4. They'll store your bag so that you can go, you know, some places even have restrooms where you can freshen up, change your clothes. Please utilize all of these options. They are included in your price. Stop letting these folk tell you you could just come spend the night real quick for $8 million. And then you all scared and you tiptoeing off. Fuck these people. One thing about me is I never cared about, this is actually pretty funny. I never cared about what people think. And I always say this, I wish I could spread some of that to my friends. Now that Wednesday is a popular Netflix show, that's what they used to call me when I was a little girl. I just really don't care what people think. And this is some negative sides to that. We're not gonna get into the negative on this episode. I did think about that last night though. At this particular hotel, they have sushi nights on Monday night. And I ordered sushi. I was like, I'm gonna be sitting here for a while. This is a solo trip. I'm about to sit here for a while. The sushi was like, I don't know, like 12 US dollars, right? So I'm like, okay, this will be my little appetizer. And I get the sushi, and I pick it up with my fingers. Side note, at what point do you eat the fruit on your drinks? I'm just sit there, strawberry right there. Yeah, at what point do you eat the fruit on your drinks? Sometimes I eat it immediately, sometimes I wait to the end. If I'm trying to, because sometimes I drink my drinks really fast, so I'll get to the end of the drink and wish that the drink was still there, but I was being fast, so okay, I'll eat this little strawberry, orange, and banana that y'all stuck on top of my drink. Anyway, so I picked the sushi up. It's second nature. And I remember this girl looked at me so funny a while ago. I went to go get sushi with her. Mind you, her life was just a complete mess. Not gonna give you any details, but I'm just gonna give you a quick synopsis. Her life was a complete mess. But she knew how to use chopsticks, and she knew how to judge me in that moment in a negative light. She was like, oh, you just gonna pick your sushi up with your fingers like that? You don't know how to use chopsticks? I mean, she completely judged me, scrunched her face, shook her head in disgust, rolled her shoulders. She was looking at people around us who probably was looking at me, which I already told you I don't give a fuck. So she was a little bit embarrassed that I had these 2 plates of sushi and I was picking it up with my fingers. And I said, girl, I'm from the west side. I'm actually ghetto. Look if you book. I mean that shit. Like, I live this life that y'all singing, y'all rap about. I don't give a fuck. Then I thought about it. And I told her I didn't use chopsticks in Tokyo. And she was like, oh, you just gonna flex up on me. No, that's not what I meant by that. But I thought about it last night again. I thought about this whole moment that happened months ago, ages ago. And long story short, this same girl tried me personally a little bit later. And she realized I wasn't the person to try in that moment. So last night I'm like, why would you try somebody that pick up sushi with their fingers? Hold on, let me rephrase that. Why would you try somebody that pick up sushi with their fingers and been to Tokyo and picked up the sushi there with their fingers? That person really don't give a fuck about nothing. I said all that to say, don't be afraid of judgment, man. People are the most judgmental. That this girl that I'm referring to ain't never left America, been to Tulum for 5 minutes, really has no travel experience whatsoever, and decided to judge me negatively for something. It is kind of a big deal. I do need to learn how to use chopsticks, but I ain't gonna lie, once I use my fingers in actual Asia, I really don't have a sense of urgency to learn, because they really didn't give a fuck. You actually give more fucks over here in America being judgmental than they do. They really don't care. As long as your check clear when you pay for your tab, that's all that they care about. And that's all that we need to care about, is our business. Okay, somebody don't know how to use something that is deemed necessary in the eyes of society. I do, so I'm just gonna keep minding my business. I'm gonna keep using my chopsticks. I actually did pick up the chopsticks last night, y'all, because I thought about that story and I chuckled. I was like, that bitch really tried a bitch from the west side that pick up sushi with her fingers. I really don't understand y'all women. Like, I be giving y'all signs that I don't give a fuck, and y'all just be ignoring them shits. Anyway, I picked up the chopsticks last night and I did use them. I am a beginner. Someone did show me, and I'm a novice chopstick user. I still would rather use my fingers, because I still don't give a fuck what people think about me. Anyway, that story really had me laughing last night, and I was like, I'm a very unique person because of that. I just don't think like that. I just don't think like that. And I get it, people around you be looking. Oh, I think I just saw a shark. Anyway, he ain't gonna make it past these rocks that I'm sitting by. Check out the video on YouTube so you can see where I'm sitting at and how good I'm feeling. Learn how to not give so many fucks. That's definitely a shark. Yo. Ooh, and it's a scuba diver right here. Should I scream to him? I'm just gonna mind my business. Oh, I'm making a podcast, man. Look, that's what I was just telling y'all. You just gotta mind your business, man. Some shit just really don't involve you. Cause what I'ma do behind all these rocks? What the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know how to swim. He ain't gonna hear me over there scuba dive. So stay tuned. We'll find out the consequences of this scuba diver's action. Not scuba diver. You know, the little stupid scuba dive where they got the little goggles on with the little thing at the top. I am a little bit concerned. Hold on. I'm a little bit concerned, y'all. Anyway. Alright. Less giving a fuck about what people think and more living your life to the fullest extent, man. The lesson for me when I thought about that is to stop being around so many judgmental people, because I do really, really, really have a low sense of my surroundings and how people think. Like I said, I would leave my hotel room in a rave, and I would leave late, and they won't charge me. The fuck? And if you do charge me, excuse me, American Express, excuse me, I didn't do this. Anyway, dispute, anyway, Curaçao, how did I get here? That's really what I wanted to talk about, because I had told y'all I seen the flight deal. I told y'all I seen the flight deal maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I said, hey man, when you see deals like this, you just have to book it. You gotta book it, and you have to say, I'm gonna worry about the rest later. I'm gonna worry about where I'm staying later, but I gotta catch this deal. When I had got off the podcast with y'all, I went and I booked it. Now, I'm gonna give y'all the good, the bad, and the ugly. When you catch flight deals, look at the details of the flight. I've also told y'all how I don't do layovers. I'm bougie now. Tell me why I just did 2 long ass layovers. And I picked Curaçao because I've been to a lot of the Caribbean islands, but I haven't been to Aruba, Aruba, Bonaire, or Curaçao. This is a string of islands. They call it the ABC Islands over here by Venezuela. And I haven't been to any one of those. I have a coworker that has an apartment, Airbnb type situation in Bonaire. If you look up flights to Bonaire, they are pretty fucking expensive. It's a very exclusive island. But if you look up flights to Aruba, it's a little bit more affordable, and you see us running there all the time on social media. I personally have never had a desire to go to Aruba. This is just me personally. The snorkeler, that's what it's called. He's still alive, you guys. I'm watching him. But I've never had the desire to go. If I'm going to go to places that are oversaturated with tourists, it's going to be like Jamaica, Paris, places that I know have good culture, good food, good vibes, all of that. But a new place where I know it's oversaturated, a place that I haven't been, I'm probably not gonna do it. And I've even told y'all, even running back to Jamaica, I'm still gonna do it on my terms. I'm still going to get an Airbnb. I'm not staying at the resort, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Curaçao. Who the fuck y'all know going to Curaçao? I didn't even know how to pronounce it when I first seen it. A couple of my coworkers told me, oh yeah, I know where that's at. Never been. I don't know anybody that's been. So I was like, I think this is worth the 2 layovers for $300. Now it is a basic economy ticket. When it comes to saving money, I will be a basic bitch any day. Once again, that's why I led this off with, I don't care what people think about me. I'm gonna need y'all to get a little bit more of that, okay? Grow some balls, let's go. We can travel, we can all travel more if you let go of that feeling and if you release your comfort zone just a little bit. I am a little bit unique in the aspect of knowing people in a whole bunch of different big cities. So I was like, I got a homegirl in Charlotte I was in the Navy with. I hit her up. She wants to record a podcast episode with me, so I packed my equipment. I'm like, look, I'm on the way. I'm coming this day. And then obviously Miami, that's gonna always be a second home to me as far as hospitality and the amount of people that I know there. Now I'm going to go on a tangent here because I talk about this all the time. And I tell y'all to take notes and I tell y'all to do this research. Can you tell me right now what's the nearest hub, the nearest airline hub to where you live? Because I've been told y'all to do that. You in Atlanta, Delta is always going to be the cheapest route. I mean, Spirit is okay, but Delta is going to be pretty much the easiest route. As far as the ease of travel plus the price. You could pretty much get directly anywhere from Atlanta on a Delta flight. But if you're in Charlotte, I don't understand why people that live in Miami and that live in Charlotte are not in the opposite city 3 or 4 times a year. Charlotte to Miami on American has to be, they probably pay you actually. The hub of American is in Charlotte. Every American flight goes through Charlotte, North Carolina. You can go from Charlotte to DFW, Charlotte to Miami for next to nothing. I'm just saying. This is something that you all have to research on your own to get the most out of your travel life. I mean, Charlotte to Miami has to be like $40 on American. I mean, that's a pretty decent airline, man. I mean, come on, you guys. So with that being said, coming from Atlanta, they wanted to send me basic economy, Charlotte, Miami, to get to Curaçao. If you live in Miami, by the way, American is going to take you to pretty much any Caribbean city that they go to for next to nothing. This is just something that you just have to take some time and research on your own. And that's your luxury for living in Miami. I mean, it costs us a little bit more in Atlanta. We got to go to Miami first and then, you know. So yeah, there was a bit, oh snap, it's dolphins. There's a bunch of them. Okay, let me hurry up and get done with y'all so I can record this. They wanted to take me around the world. I had a plan set up. Boom. See my homegirl in Charlotte. See my homegirl in Miami. Obviously, nothing works out according to plan. My friend in Charlotte had a family emergency that required her full attention. I actually need to check on her. That obviously did not bother me. She told me early enough in the morning to where I called American and I was like, yo, can I just go to Miami? They was like, no. I was like, so can I just like miss this flight? She was like, look, let me tell you something. I know what you're thinking, sis, but if you don't get on this flight to Charlotte, it cancels your entire trip. You have wasted your $300. $300. You cannot, if you decided right now to catch a Spirit flight or drive to Miami, you're not, this whole ticket is forfeited if you don't go to Charlotte. So just FYI, that's how the American basic economy works. And it's, you know, it's a setup. It's a setup. So what did I do in Charlotte for 10 hours? So I went to go get brunch. Charlotte is a smaller Atlanta, black-owned city. I thought that I was gonna get like an Atlanta, Houston type brunch. I did not. It is very calm. Could not find a hookah anywhere. Maybe that's because I Googled some shit and I went, you know, I Googled black business, black owned restaurants. Maybe you gotta be from there to actually know. But so I went to 7th Restaurant. I'll type all of this out in the description. They had a collard green, like instead of spinach artichoke dip, they had collard green dip. That was actually pretty amazing. Unique, tasted amazing. But probably would not recommend going there. The chicken was not seasoned well at all. It was like the big gargantuan chicken that is all, you know, has antibiotics and steroids and it just wasn't that great. So I went back to the airport. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for in the city. So I went back to the airport and I got the American Airlines Admiral Club pass, which since American does have a lot of layovers, that's kind of a huge deal. It's $59 for a day and they let me use it for the entire flight duration. Not only that, this is where I really want y'all, I really want to say I told you so. I really, really, really want to say y'all really need to listen to me. Remember when I told y'all to sign up for all of these airlines programs? They're free programs. Just go on there and sign up for every single airline mileage program. I had enough miles that paid for that $59. Not only that, so I didn't pay anything. And I have no idea how I'm gaining American points. I mean, I am some sort of way, but I ain't flown American since I went to Tokyo. Told y'all about that. And that was 2019. So I had enough miles to pay for this $59 pass. When I tell you, I got so drunk off the liquor there. Even the bartenders was like, American is gonna kick you out. Like, this ain't what they meant by $59. Well, what? They lost money with me, tell you that right now. So sign up for them American points, sign up for them Southwest points, the Delta Sky Miles, sign up for all of the Frontier and Spirit. Sign up for all of their reward points. It's free. It's going to take you about 10 minutes to sign up for everybody. And you're going to find little ways to earn miles. And then you're going to be in situations like this where, I mean, I'm pretty sure people's brains are imploding right now in American's corporate office. Like, we didn't expect all of this. I mean, I got a chicken quesadilla. I had got breakfast in Miami the next morning. I got some avocado toast. I had took some coffee on the plane with me. While I walked on that plane with like 3 cups, I had a cup of Coca-Cola, a cup of ice, and a cup of coffee. For some miles that I've accumulated that I wasn't gonna do nothing else with. And I was hungover from that liquor. So that's enough of that. Because I done told y'all. I'm not telling y'all again. Yes, I am. I'm gonna tell you again. So Miami, you already know, Carolyn picked me up. We had a little quick turn up. I was actually pretty drunk and tired. Got some sleep at her house. Made it to Curaçao. I had no issues with the flight. No issues with employees. Everything was great. So I want to give y'all a quick history of Curaçao. You know, slavery was down here also, not just, you know, in the southern states of America. And what I find beautiful about the Caribbean is that they were able to pass down more culture than we were in America. because somehow they convinced us that, you know, we needed credit. We were, you know, Jim Crow era. We, you know, we talk ghetto. That's not a word. You're not supposed to say this. You're not supposed to say that. Come in here and talk proper. Why is your name Trey Cherie and Shaniqua? Like, they really mind-fucked our culture in America. But in Jamaica, oh no, they got their own language, XYZ. We talked about that. So this is one of those places. The difference between Jamaica and Curaçao is there was a fight amongst themselves, amongst the owners, amongst the Dutch, the French, and the Spanish. And the slaves kind of teamed up with the natives, which, you know, were Indians, not from India, what they call Indians, Native people, not Americans, but Native people that resemble our Native American people. I guess they would more resemble like a South America native. Anyway, what they have called Indians, though. The slaves teamed up with them, and they were taught, obviously, their master's language. They were taught, just like our ancestors in America, to forget your language, forget your name, forget your culture, read this Bible, believe in this Jesus, and do what the fuck we say and obey us, right? They were taught the same thing, but it was in Spanish, or it was in Dutch, or it was in French, right? Well, what they said, because like I said, they teamed up with the natives. They were hiding in caves. There's a lot of caves here. You're going to see on the video, I visited one. It's a cave of witchcraft. And it was a lot of slaves that escaped and natives that would hide in these caves and fight for their freedom. Because obviously the natives knew the land way more than the, what they call Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm talking about. He's actually the person that, quote unquote, won this island, for what that's worth. But anyway, this is what's really cool about this. They came up with their own language based off the language that they were taught. And they created a dialect of their own. And it's a dialect of 3 languages: French, Dutch, Spanish. Like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck didn't we do that? I just think that is so beautiful. And they speak it today. Like, I'm like, what is y'all language? And they said it's a dialect of Dutch, French, and Spanish. And so I asked my tour guide, because my tour guides, there was 2 of them, they're both black. The young lady actually is from the Netherlands. She grew up in the Netherlands, but her family moved here. And this is a Dutch, quote unquote, Dutch country. So it's simple for them to vacation here, move here. A lot of the people that are vacationing are from the Netherlands. And they speak Dutch, but the people here, they don't speak that. They speak a dialect of, and I'm not going to butcher the name of it. And I even looked on Google Translate. I'm like, I don't see it. And they looking for me. And I even look under Dutch. I look under French. It's obviously not under Spanish. And the young lady said she can understand Spanish. She can't speak it, but she can understand what they're saying. And I even pulled up like a Mexican video, like a music video, and she didn't understand that. I said, because they have their own dialect of Spanish. Like, it's crazy, and I felt good that I taught her something. So she can understand like the proper Spanish that's spoken in like South America and Spain. She can understand Bad Bunny though. I told her, we talked about that. But anyway, that is really beautiful to me, y'all, and that's why I travel, because I've never felt right with that in my spirit. You know, why are you making me talk like this? Why are you forcing me to do something that, who made these rules up in America? Like, that's really what I want to know. Who made these rules up? You can go somewhere else, and I'm just fine. When I go to the hood, I'm just fine talking like this. And I always say, well, maybe I need to make my own business in the hood so more people that talk like me with ghetto names like me can come and flourish. Obviously, they make it so that that's kind of difficult to do. But I think that we're getting there. When you come to Caribbean places like this, it just really grounds you, though, into what could have been if we weren't so controlled in America. So I'm going to just leave it at that. So that's the history. Where am I staying? Barbuleta.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know how to roll my R.
Yeah, of course. And as you can see, you see a lot of snails because the cactus contains water, so they go and take water out of it. And those you see the lizards, they are called lagadishi.
Lagadishi.
Lagadishi. These small ones. Smaller ones, we call them koteki. And the bigger ones, before you get to iguana, it's called blah blah.
Cave.
Yes.
Cave of Witchcraft. Brewer is witchcraft or witch?
Witchcraft.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy.
You really afraid of bats?
I've never walked up
You've
on
seen-
bats before,
you've-
so
you've
I don't
seen
know.
Hotel Transylvania. That's
Oh my
the
god,
problem.
there they are. Oh my god. This is crazy.
This is Hotel Transylvania's fault.
I am now Batwoman.
Officially.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. But they're supposed to be sleeping, right?
Supposed to?
So we're waking them up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, okay. There's so many of them. Oh my gosh. Oh!
Come closer, come closer. Look at that.
No. No.
Look.
No. Okay. This it's full. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Come closer. You're
No.
gonna see them.
No.
You're sleeping.
No.
You're sleeping.
They are awake.
They will just go back to sleep.
We are disturbing them.
Do you know how they do? Like in the morning,
Oh my
when you
gosh.
get up, where are you going?
I'm scared.
Tulang aqui.
Uh-oh.
Just leave now.
Oh, there it is.
Yes. Okay, so
You
She
can
will
explain
explain.
it too.
she will explain about the language,
Okay.
and I will explain the long story short history about Curaçao. Huh? Thank you. So, anyways, it's Curaçao was used as a slavery island. So, the whole story, if you just check on Google, just search Curaçao history, and you will get the whole experience because it's really long. But long story short, Curaçao was used as a slavery island. It was a fight in between the Dutch, the Spanish, and then all the other places in the world. They tried to take over the island, and the one who did was Christopher Columbus. He did took over the island in 15 minutes. Yeah, and we went in a cave today, and this cave, the name of the cave is Cueva de Brua, which means the cave of witchcraft. But it doesn't have anything to do with witches. It's only the name because the slaves that lived in the cave, they would make music with the stalactites that's growing in the cave. So it's a natural cave, and they make sounds and noises with their mouth, with their voices. Yeah, and then the people that wanted to get them to be slave, when they got to the entrance, they heard the noises and they thought there was some witches and people doing witchcraft in the cave, and they named the cave Cueva de Brua. But it was just a couple Indian, the first native people of the island, prepared themselves for war that they didn't know for sure that's gonna happen or not. So that's how the people that lived in the cave survived mostly all the attacks.
So the language that we speak is Papiamento. It's a dialogue of 5 languages, which is Spanish, English, Dutch, Portuguese, and French. So basically that's it.
Okay.
So if you hear us speaking Papiamento, you will hear some words that can be Dutch, it can be Spanish, or it can be English, or some French or Portuguese.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My travel fashion varies. I only brought a carry-on, and I'm kind of mix matching. This is a sports bra, and these are some pants from Shein that I threw in the bag at the last minute. They're actually like dingy white, so I will be throwing these away. Hi, doggy. So I'm looking for a store to walk to. And sis told me to make a left out the hotel, go down a little bit. She even gave me a picture with some water and some dots. She told me go down for a little while and then make a right. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to get lost. So I had to stop and ask somebody else for directions. And they gave me a landmark and told me to make a right at the gas station. Now, although this is not enough time to judge deeply a destination, I'm only here for 2.5 days. It's beautiful. I will definitely come back. I've never been to Aruba or Bonaire. Everyone runs to Aruba, and Bonaire just, it's so small and secluded that it's kind of expensive to get to. With that being said, that's why I chose to go to Curaçao first for the ABC Island tourist thing. Anyway, it's a mixture of people, and you already know who's more friendly. There is a Dutch population, and I did stop at like a pub, and sis did kind of have an attitude. So I did not find the store. However, hear me out. I found a different store and a bar. A win is a win. Took 2 shots. I'm feeling really good.